Hey guys, it's Howitzer here, and welcome back to part 2 of Hail to the Queen, Ridley Scott versus the Alien Queen. It was James Cameron who introduced us to the Alien Queen back in 1986 in Aliens, the second film of the Alien franchise. It was a logical question when you were to ask where all those eggs came from on the derelict ship in the first movie Alien. Ridley Scott did address this in Alien, sort of. It didn't make the final cut of the film, but many of you are familiar with the hive scene in the outtakes to Alien. This is where the egg morphine comes in. With this, a drone will create a small hive-like area. They will then cocoon a host, dead or alive. Now the next part is uncertain on how it's done, but with some substance or secretion possibly, the alien is able to cause biological matter to rearrange into the material needed to create a new alien egg. Dallas was most likely cocooned next to the growing egg so that the newly hatched facehugger would have living prey to infect. In the comic books, we see that a drone or a Praetorian can molt into a queen if need be, but we haven't seen any evidence of that yet in the movie series. Ridley Scott was pretty hurt that Fox didn't ask him to come back to direct the follow-up to his first Alien movie. In 1986, Bobby Wygant asked Aliens producer Gail Ann Hurd if Scott had turned down the opportunity to direct the sequel. She said, "I'm not really sure. I know that he was in post-production on Legend at the time that we were in pre-production, so perhaps it was a result of availability. But it turned out that the producers had never even approached Ridley at all. He was quoted as saying, 'They didn't even ask me.' To this day, I have no idea why. It hurt my feelings, really, because I thought we did a good job on the first one." Even so, if you ask Ridley about Aliens, the second movie, he says Jim did a great job, and he's also a huge fan of Alien, so I could never critique the movie. Because of that, he hasn't really made any other comments on it. The one thing I have noticed, though, is that I spent hours reading and searching online, and I can't find one instance of Ridley ever mentioning any queen other than the Queen of England. Not one mention. A few good words for Cameron, but no queen talk. But now I know many of you may be thinking, there were tons of eggs on that derelict ship in Alien. Just how long would it take to make all those eggs without having a queen to lay them? I don't think that they were made by egg morphine unless the eggs were formed in another area and then transported to the derelict. The derelict egg area to me looked too clean to be an egg morphine area, but that's just a guess. I think another possibility could be that the eggs are grown without a queen. I have no evidence to support it, but it seems plausible. Maybe David has grown the eggs we see in the Covenant trailer, or possibly David has made or found a queen and is using her to create the eggs, but who knows? Supposedly, Ridley Scott and/or Fox has put together a 10-page document that is sort of an Alien rulebook for the franchise. I thought I had read somewhere that he said that the rulebook would contain information from Prometheus and Covenant and some of the later films, but mostly Alien. I can't find this article again, so don't take it as fact, but I do remember reading it. We won't most likely know what's in the document, but one big question I have is, will the Queen Alien be in it? To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me either way. I could easily see the Queen becoming part of Ridley Scott's Alien canon. She does appear in Aliens, Alien 3, Alien 4, and AVP as well. It's not like people aren't fond of the Queen or the Queen concept. I'm just not totally sure that Ridley will use the Queen in his movies. We didn't see any evidence of a queen in Alien or Prometheus, and so far I haven't heard of anything in Covenant, but we can't be sure until the movie comes out. I know that Ridley isn't a fan of the AVP movies or the general idea of the crossover. I myself love the AVP series, but Alien was his baby, so I can understand him not being for it. The original writer, Dan O'Bannon, wasn't fond of the crossover idea as well. I say this not to start a flame war between Alien and Predator canon, but to show that Ridley wasn't fond of Predators and just avoided the question at all costs. Even when pressed with the question at a Comic-Con, he only stated Fox liked it, and that's really all he had to say. Well, he's never talked about a queen either. We're talking about the biggest alien in 3 of the 4 last movies, and he's never talked about it. That says something to me, but that's just my thoughts. I also know that he loves to surprise us, so maybe he's gonna put a twist on a queen and show us something new. Just imagine it, so far we've had the same old queen every time. How cool would it be to see a drone molt into a queen? But not in the comics, on film. Or maybe David will make a queen. What about a xenomorph queen? I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but how cool would that look? Or even better, if the ultramorph were to make an appearance later in the movies, imagine a queen ultramorph. That thing would be huge. I'm really hoping that the queen gets her royal entrance into the Ridley Scott group of alien movies. And now for a quick update. I am so glad that I waited to post part 2 of this Queen Alien video series because Fox just released a new movie poster for Alien Covenant. It is an amazing picture, just simply beautiful. On it, we see aliens and engineers fighting, with many engineers having face huggers on them already. But look at the top of the picture, in the middle. Do you see it? That has got to be the crown of an alien queen. This has me so excited. I really did not expect to see the queen so soon in the prequels, if at all. And it looks like we may just get to see one in the next movie, Alien Covenant. So what do you guys think? Are we gonna get the alien queen in the next movie, or are they just messing with us? Did David make the eggs? Or perhaps grow them? Or does he end up making an alien queen? Let's face it, there were so many eggs in that derelict that the number would take a long time to create with egg morphing, but a queen or growing the eggs would allow for such fast production. So are the eggs grown, farmed, laid, or morphed, or some of all the above? Would you like to see the queen going forward? Will egg morphing be brought up again in a Ridley alien universe, or was that a one-time thing? Can Ridley defeat an alien queen in a power loader? We may never know. But let me know your ideas down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care and have a good one.